Good morning, everyone. And we're also broadcasting YouTube on a Friday. We're experimenting with that. We thank you for stopping by. We're running a little program that we call the SMC Modified K strategy. We're running 5 micros on the MNQ, and we're also a lot of times on Fridays we're testing, and we're testing a little subroutine on this modified K, and and she's shown some promise, but we'll see how we do here. Anybody got any questions? Don't hesitate to sing out. Of course, our annual members, they get a chance to patch in at their leisure on not on YouTube, but on Zoom. And because we live broadcast on Zoom, anytime our machines are up, the Zoom is up, and we may or may not be here every minute of every day. We do have to sleep, but we're here quite a bit, so we're available for our members. We will periodically broadcast on YouTube. We appreciate the like button, smashing the like button. We appreciate the retweets. The more participation we get that way, the more apt we might do it. It'll never be a 24/7 thing. We can't possibly do that. And but if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat function. Good luck, though. I want our members to know we're also shadowing some of the option trades that we put on. We did put on a one of the more aggressive trades was a call option, just a flat out call. There was actually 3 of them on AMD, and that call option. Why I want to mention it, it only had about it was very short dated. It was only about 12 days. It's got 7 days left. It was a July 22.77 call option on AMD. The total max risk on that was 960. That trade is up about 250. We will probably take a profit on that before the day is over. We're not here for those that are stopping by on YouTube. We're not a typical trading service. We're not handing out the fish. We're not giving specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. We're an educational site, a mentoring site, where those folks that want to, and that's not me, that's not my belly growling, that's Ted snoring there. Hey, Ted, I got a golden retriever at my side. He gets a little bit bored. But for those mature traders that want to become more mechanical, more robotic, try to get the emotion out of their trading, we are a mentoring site, and we try to help folks get to that point. It's something you have to continuously work on, including ourselves. We have quite a few tools, proprietary radars, strategies, indicators, paint bars, show me studies, you name it. And we're constantly trying to improve and develop. And these tools are available, all of them, to be put together in a customized fashion for each annual member, customized for their style of trading, what they want to do. Yeah, no, Alum, no. I wish I'd only take one day, right? No. We do actually, and that's where we're hopefully a lot different than than other my I don't know if you can hear my golden. He hears me talking. I think he thinks I'm talking to. I guess I am talking to him as well. But I'm also talking to Alan. Um, yes, we are mentor. We do teach, right? In fact, folks, we have a level of membership called monthly. It's $100 a month, and it's month to month. There's no long-term commitment there. It's month to month. And if we provide you value, we hope you'll stay. And our monthly members, we have the most of. Very rarely do we lose anyone. We provide them opportunities and education every evening in a video format. For the person that wants to become an annual member, wants to have these tools on their desktop, we have an annual membership, but you can't join as an annual member. We've had it happen. We've had folks like just send us the money and sign up for an annual, and I send it back. We require that everyone go through what we call a Q school, a 3-week period where we get to know you, you get to know us, and you get to know the approach, and you get to basically trial it and work it out and to see if it's for you. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a ton. And I've been asked before, the most recent person that went through, he said, Don, is this Q school transferable? Yes, most certainly is. It's going to make you a better trader. We have no doubt about that. We hope that you'll stay. And if you do stay and become an annual member following the Q school, we'll credit you back $1,000. And the most recent person did just that. In fact, then there have only been, of all the people that have gone through the Q school, there's been quite a few. I think only 2 have not gone on to become annual members. So we try to, if you think about it, it's kind of an incremental step, and we're with you during the Q school every day. Now, it may not be all day. I don't think you want to listen to me all day. We don't, we want to, but in the instance of the last gentleman went through the Q school, his schedule, we work around his schedule. His schedule is such that we connected every morning from 7:30 to about 8:30 to 8:45 every day to cover and he had on-demand videos that he was watching and then was patched in live on Zoom, amongst other questions that he might have. But we did that every day. We taped it, so he has it as his own library. The gentleman before that didn't have that luxury, and we connected in the evening and we connected on the weekend. So we work around schedule. We also want to find out, we're going to share with you how, notice I say we share with you how we trade. It may in the end not be what suits you. So we will listen very intently on what you've been doing, good or bad, and we will learn from you. And we will try to work around your style of trading, because everybody has their own trading personality, and you're going to, folks do what they're going to do or feel most comfortable doing. But we think we're very confident we can help. And we don't make any claims at all. So we don't make any specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. We don't. The algos present opportunities on a nightly basis, on an intraday basis. Of course, these are presenting opportunities all day long. In fact, I can show you in a moment what else we have running. So we're not making specific, and we're going to see if this machine takes off here. We're getting a little chummed here. A little bit of chop. So Now, Swing Machine is monitoring these markets that you can see up above, what we call Swing Machine Plus. The strategy is not trading Swing Machine Plus, but we're watching that intently. But nor do we make claims that that a person will automatically print money. That isn't the case. There is no holy grail. There is no automatic anything. These are trading tools, decision-making trading tools that you're watching, and one must have good acquired trading skill, just like any other tool that you might use to get the job done. It's a must. I'm sorry. I How long does it? I was chatting and I forgot to open up the microphone. Alan, I saw your question there. Um, I'm not sure if how much of that you heard. I'm just realizing now. We have a microphone for both YouTube and for our members, so I apologize about that little challenge here this morning. And Ted hears me talking my golden, and he's like, "Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me?" Um, but the Q School is a 3+ week very intensive. You're in touch with us. We're in touch with you every single day, and we work around your schedule. And at the conclusion of this 3+ week, you will know. You will know what we're about. You will know what these tools are about, and you'll have a very, very good idea, accurate idea on what they can and cannot do for you and where your trading is. And you might do better than me. And that's just fine. We most certainly have members that do better than me. Ted, it's okay, bud. It's okay. Why don't you go lay down? We are running this little program right now, but we have a little, what we call a little subroutine that we're testing out, and it hasn't done that great here, but we'll see how it does for the rest of the session here. We'll probably be here up until probably about noon running this. But if you have any other questions, I'm sorry, I was chatting away, and I forgot to turn the microphone on. The markets have obviously paused here, at least on the NQ. That's what we're focused on. We're trading just five micros, which is, basically half of a mini contract. You're very welcome. You can use these tools to trade futures, stocks, and therefore options as well. Most definitely. Yeah, Alan, we're asked that all the time. How much money would be advisable to start trading with? Uh, we're asked that all the time. And it is individual. The brokerages, a lot of it's going to depend on the brokerage, right? There's certainly a minimum account size. If you're trading stocks intra-day, trading them, flipping them, the minimum, I think for most brokerages is about 25,000. If you're trading futures contracts, oddly enough, I think it's as little as 2,500. Some might be less. The thing that we try to teach is to trade responsibly and to trade proportionately. What does that mean? Whether your account is 2,500 or 250,000, we would suggest as much as possible that no one trade risk more than 1 to 2% in the beginning of your account. And so you got to trade proportionately. Where most folks get themselves in trouble is it's the same side of the same coin. They're undercapitalized or over leveraged. Same thing. They come in with 2,500 and, use the, 90, the maximum leverage they can get. Or they come in with 250,000 an account and they do the same thing there too. You can be over leveraged or undercapitalized even with an account with 250 grand in there. So we're using machinery, the hardware, software to make sure that we stay as disciplined and as mechanical as possible. We like to trade futures intraday because they're highly liquid. The difference between the bid and the ask is a tick, usually during normal session hours, a tick or two, as you can see. And the only other leverage market, for the most part, would be the options market. And with the options market, not that we don't use options, we will, but they're not as liquid. And you must be concerned with implied volatility, which impacts the cost of that option. And you also must be concerned with theta, time decay, especially if you're a buyer of options. We don't have to be concerned with theta. And we don't have, we monitor volatility, but we don't have to be concerned with the implied volatility getting sucked out of the futures contract. If you haven't done this yet, strongly suggest that there is some wonderful free education available. If you go to the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange out of Chicago, they have a free site. And they have a lot of great free education there on futures. CBOE, for options. You're welcome. You're welcome. The platform that we're using is TradeStation. And we use TradeStation because they have their own coding language that enables us to really, really customize and to write the kinds of programs that we feel that we need to have. Not to take anything away from the other platforms, they're all very good, but there are a lot of them are like a plug and play. Almost like a toy compared to TradeStation. Some are very good and good, and some are abysmal. But TradeStation is, we think, is unparalleled. And well, that's fine. Then you have no bad habits, Alum. Mm-hmm. Some of our biggest success stories have been with folks who have had no trading experience because they have no bad habits and everything is fresh. And I'm not going to on here on YouTube. I don't want to come across and but we have had some unbelievable success stories of folks. They have both been huge success of ours. We're proud of, in some small part, we'd like to think that we played a role. And in some respects, maybe my, not my worst experience, I wouldn't say that, but a lesson to me, I wish I had paid closer attention on a few that what they had been doing, because I could have learned a lot. So we learn a lot from everybody. I try to, come at everything with very wide open eyes and open ears and listen. Everybody brings their experiences, their life's experiences in, and for better or for worse, but usually it's for the good. It's good. This notion, Alum, the biggest thing I can share, folks are hearing this, they've heard this ad nauseum, but it's so important. If you're new, how do you keep score, right? The British Open is playing over there and they're keeping score, right? You need to know how to keep score with your trading. And a lot of folks think that it's purely the money. You see that little money up there, that $150, $170, you see how much is down and up. It's there, but it's not how we keep score on a day in, day out basis. And I'll give you and if you don't know how to keep score, then so is it better to learn from TradeStation or the Chicago? Oh, it isn't a question of one over the other. The CME is a free site on futures, so why not? TradeStation as a platform is the trading platform, and they have fantastic tutorials on their platform. They also have educational materials. I mean, there's a whole cottage industry of stuff that's out there. I mean, more than a cottage industry. I mean, there's very few people doing what we're doing though, right? We don't advertise, so I don't even know, somehow, some way you found us, people find us. We're growing at about 30 to 40% a year, which is about max for us. And we don't advertise. It's just so somehow, some way you found us. We do the YouTube video. What we're doing is trying to teach folks what it's about, how to approach it, and so that they can develop their own game on how to go about it. So, but there's elements to learn. You certainly, and we're very, very proficient. TradeStation is excellent with their platform, but we know the platform really well. So during the Q School, the folks learn how to use the platform. They learn how we go about trading, using what we call a swing machine, and the other tools, time charts, price charts. There's a whole array of various charts and tools. So in fact, let's just go take a peek. I'll give you, for instance, we come here, if you haven't seen this, we look, this is a swing machine, and on a 5-minute basis, and we will have had members on a 5-minute interval, the ES contract went long at 8:40 this morning. One mini contract would be up $2,100. We're trading five micros, which is half of that. The NQ went long at 8:50. That position's up 1,300. The YM went long at 4:45 a.m. That position's up 2,600. The Russell went long at 10:05. Gold is underwater a little bit. That contract, I wonder if that contract's rolled in. I don't think so. And then here's oil long at 5:05, and nat gas long at 9:15. We also have other tools for trading stocks. This is something called the SMC Trade Generator for Pebble Beach Trigger. So if you want to trade stocks, individual shares, buy and sell, or options, this is yet another tool that we'll use. And now we'll get back to our little view here. But the profit factor is very important, because if person doesn't know how to keep score, then they really don't know what to work on. So it isn't enough to say on a golf course, I shot 72 or 82. It isn't enough. to know that, because it doesn't really tell you anything about the round that you had. So what we keep track of is something called profit factor, because it'll tell us what we need to work on the following week. And it gives us a very objective and a fair representation of our trading. Are we taking on too much risk? Are we getting a little reckless? And so that's one of the mainstays that we spend quite a bit of time on right in the beginning, is making sure a person understands how to keep score. Now, as a new person, as a new trader, where most people will begin and end is trading the money. Oh, I'm up 220. I better take that money. Oh, I'm down. That is not going to be good. That's going to wear you out and won't be good. In the configuration you're looking at here, each one of these bricks is $40, trading one MNQ contract. These are contracts, they're highly liquid, just one. We're trading 5. So each brick is worth 200. So the other thing that we speak of all the time, we can't control what the market's going to do. The market is going to do what the market is going to do. Um, and this whole business of forecasting where the market's going to be and going, um, is a neat parlor game, but in the scheme of things, especially the further out you go, nobody really knows. Nobody knows. Not even the market knows. It's going to do what it's going to do. We're trading the here and the now. We're trading right now. I'm only interested in now. And anybody who says on CNBC that trading intraday is a fool's errand it's so disingenuous, because if you think it's any easier to go out 2 hours, 2 days, 2 months, 2 years, you're crazy. They're crazy. It isn't. It isn't any easier. It's easier for them because there's no accountability. Our chestnuts are out on the line all the time, intraday. But I'm not making a recommendation. I'm not making, that's not what we're doing. We're trading for ourselves, and we're showing you how we use some of our tools here today. But I'm not, those folks are asset gatherers, which is fine. It's what they do. So they come on the boob tube and they, the market's going to be higher. It's never going to be lower. Nobody will send them any money if they tell them it's going to be lower. So it's always going to be higher. It's always going to be better. It's always going to be brighter. It's the nature of the industry, because they want you to send them their bread. And if they're wrong, it's so many months ago and they're on every day or every other, no one holds them to account, and they bank on it. They take it to bank. If it was easier to predict where anything is going to be 6 months from now than from 6 minutes, why are the options market? Why would an option cost you many, many multiples if it expires in 6 months versus tomorrow? It isn't. And if you're only supposed to buy and hold, who's doing all the selling? But I am not in any way suggesting that trading intraday is for everybody. In fact, I'd say it isn't. You got to be a very unique person. And one of the things that I think a person needs to have is certainly have a passion for doing it, because there is a huge commitment of time and capital and effort. And it better be something you enjoy, because you're not going to want to do something you don't enjoy. If somebody is doing it purely because they think it's going to be something easy and they're just going to make money and, and not have to work. And you hear sometimes people say, oh, I want to do this because I don't want to do something else. Probably not going to be a good idea. The old expression, are you running towards something or are you running away from something? When you're running away from something, whatever it is, wherever you find yourself, is maybe not the place you want to be. I'd rather be running towards something I want to do, or I'm running toward a place I want to be. And trading is no different than anything else in life. For instance, I had a gentleman, I'll talk with specifics. He called. He was from Europe, and he said we were talking about expectations. So he had very, very, very high expectations with no experience. And I didn't want to be a hoser, but I had to be realistic. I told this gentleman, I think your expectations are not real, not realistic. And I will tell him. And then he went on to say, well, I only want to do this for a couple of years anyways, because what I really want to do is buy and sell real estate. I'm like, okay, well, I got a suggestion for you. Don't do this at all. Go learn and spend your time and effort buying and selling real estate. Do something in and around real estate. Do the thing. It may, you know, do the thing that you want to do. Do the thing that you want to be around. You may not be able to go out, and invest in real estate and do it, but maybe you have to go to work for somebody that is in real estate, and you get to learn and do a mentorship and save your money and save your bread, and do it that way. But I think people that come into trading thinking it's somehow going to be a means to an end so that they don't have to do something else, I don't think that's a good idea. I'll be frank. I just because um, we may make it look easy, um, but we've been doing this a long time, and not every day, not every week is an easy day or an easy week. And if it isn't something you enjoy, then you're going to find it exceptionally painful. Hope that makes sense. These are programs that we have written. This is telling us that we might want to favor the long side, that this market is under accumulation, that we don't see any price momentum divergence. I didn't type these in. These are being put in by the machine. This tells us the brick value. Swing machine is also monitoring the trend. On a 5-minute basis, we know that we've been up since 8:50. 22 minutes ago, swing machine on a 1 minute also went long. This one's up, considerably more because this is a mini contract. We're using 5 micros, which is half the value, But this did not go in, by the way, although we're using this to monitor, and although we can trade this up here, we're not trading that right here, right now. There's more than one way. There's many ways to infinite number of ways to trade. They're basically that saying specific, but there are only 4 ways to trade in that. And now I kind of contradict myself, so I'll explain. You can trend follow long, trend follow short, counter trend short, counter trend long. That's it. Styles, you can discretionary trade, you can mechanically trade, you can robotically trade, and you can robotically hedge. That's what we teach. We try to get everybody to a place where they're robotically hedging themselves or a strategy or a market. But the first step is being a discretionary trader. And it is the first step. And it is really important that everyone have that skill. You can't jump the shark. You cannot skip learning how to become a good discretionary trader longhand and then, just get to trading a robot. It won't work. It would be like trying to, not a pilot, but you're not going to climb into a Dreamliner if you haven't flown before, right? And take it up. At least I'm not going to go for a ride with you. Maybe you got to learn how to fly a smaller plane, a Cessna, a crop duster, a transport plane, and earn your time in the seat, so to speak. Earn your flying time. You need trading time. You absolutely do. You can't. There's no shortcuts. But you can spend a lifetime lost in the woods. So I would just say get good instruction early from somebody that comports with what it is you want to do, and vet that out. We try to give everybody, the way the pricing is, we try to give everybody an incremental view, incremental steps. Basically, I'm trying to give folks the opportunity to say, no, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't going to work for me, before making, a commitment on an annualized basis. That's what we try to do. So we do a lot of, well, actually not just sitting. I have a capacity to stand, and I can be on a treadmill in the office as well. But a lot of our trading is, is just watching. It's just, waiting. The machine, has the capacity to buy and sell and buy. We can arm it. It's kind of like an autopilot, and we can intervene, right? We can flip a switch and take control if necessary. I'd rather not. I'd rather just let the machine handle it. The machine is also out of view is managing other markets and teeing up orders on other markets. So you can begin to hedge one market against another, one interval against another, frequency against another. So I love that, that person on CNBC that, comes on and will tell you, or tell the Judge Wapner there, that guy they call Wapner. Judge, I think the S&P is going to be at, I love the guy with the big black glasses. What's his name? I forget his name. And doofus. You notice like they change companies like every other week, those guys. I mean, there was another guy, his name was Beauvais. He was the financial guy. He worked for, a different bank every other week. I used to call him Wrong Way Beauvais. He'd always have an opinion on the financials. He was their financial expert. And he was actually here in Tampa. And I'd call him, like I say, my nickname was Wrong Way Beauvais. Seemingly seemed to always be on the wrong side, but it was always a buy, always a buy. And they got this other guy, I can't think of his name, but he's got the big black glasses and he's kind of got a high voice. Yeah, I think he sounds like that. I think and I'm serious, he really does. If you haven't, I think the S&P is going to be at 5,200. I think it's just a dip, and it's going to be at 5,200. And but of course, John, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you where the market's going to be tomorrow, but I can tell you where it's going to be at the end of the year. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, who in the Christ would listen to that garbage? Isn't that ridiculous? Oh God. And I mean, nobody can say. That's why we hedge, right? That's why we trade. Market goes up, the market goes down. You have cars with, you can go forward and you can go reverse. There's sometimes you want to go forward, there's sometimes you're going to have to back up. And that's what I'm watching right now. This is right now where the markets are moving forward. I need to just kind of hopefully stay out of its way. But if it starts to back up, hopefully the machine will start to back up. There's a little indication we're going to get a little bit of a dip. I could step in and intervene right now and take that profit. I'm going to let it, I think I'm going to be patient here. Totally okay. I'm net down for a little bit today. Still no big deal. And but if you're hedging, you're trying to trade in balance. Okay, we are in fact going to intercede and take that profit there. We are going to take it. We're getting an indication on a little subroutine here that we're monitoring and testing out that this market might turn down. If it does turn down, the machine will put us into a short, and otherwise we're flat. I think Alam Tanta. I think you know who I'm talking about. I think his name is Lee. Doesn't he? He's like, yeah, I think the stock market is going to be at, it's always higher, always higher. It's always at the end of the year. You know, no one's holding him to account. You know, he's the Jeffrey Toobin of the financial media. They crack me up. It's pitiful. I mean, don't watch them. Again, while we're flat here, let's run over and take a look at swing machines. So what's going on here? Um, the VIX on a 5 minute interval on swing machine at 4:40 this morning started to turn down. That was an indication as early for any of our members that were up that early. I was not. I was up late, but I wasn't up that early. Was it a likelihood that the market might rally? It's a contrarian indicator. It's the trend that's important, not the price, the trend. And the trend was down. At 8:40 on a 5 minute, the ES went long. It's still long on a 5 minute basis. And it's up, a mini contract's up 2,500. The 5 minute, 850 on the NQ. That's how much it's up. The YM 4:45 a.m. So the Dow stocks, the Dow futures really ran. It's up 2,800. The Russell at 10:05, and gold is long at 11:25 and basically flat. Yes, Tom Lee. That's who it is, Tom Lee. Yeah. Try to keep track of the banks they works for. I mean, my God, it's like a different one every week. Um, I can't stand them. There's been over CNBC. I mean, before Tom Lee, there was another guy. I think his name was O'Neill. Was it something O'Neill? Then there was, of course, Kramer. Now they got Kramer. Oh my God. But and then let's look at the Pebble Beach triggers. Here are opportunities. These are we're getting some buy signals. This is for stock and sell signals. These are all today. We won't get too involved in that right now, but we're keeping a close eye on this and see if we might get a chance to pull this back here. These little live sessions, he is from Fundstrat managing partner. Oh, there you go. Okay. They're all managing partners. They're all presidents. There's no vice presidents. There's no assistants. Everybody's a partner. Everybody's a president. Everybody wins. Financial. I'm not, by the way, everyone's got to make a buck, but I'm not from the financial industry. Nobody has more contempt than, you know, I mean, I do what we do here because I have contempt for that. Wall Street, Madison Avenue are one and the same, and they are the originators of fake news. I mean, the absolute originators of it. And my career was in surgery for about 25 years. So I come at this with a very, very different view. I come at this with a view that that we're trading with surgical precision. We're trying to do something that is repetitive. It is no good. It is no good if you think about this to just have one good trade or one good day or one good week. You must, if you're going to trade as a business, which is different, right? Everybody who's on Robinhood, everyone who's just, chasing AMC and just everyone who's hodling, they're not traders. They're not. Just because they can fog a mirror and open up an account and start pushing stuff around doesn't make them a trader. They won't be here. Most of them are gone. We put out a video that's still there. If you go back in September on AMC, when the thing was trading at $50, $60, and I took more stones, we did a little, technical view, very, said if it goes up, it's going to break here. It's very clean. It's point and figure, and took all kinds of stones, from the apes, right? No apes now. They'll come back, but it won't be the same crew, but there won't be as many of them. You'll realize, and hopefully, and that's the purpose. And in these videos that we're doing YouTube, it isn't to prove anything. I'm not here to prove that, anything today. We may make money, we may not. We're not trying to prove anything. We're just trying to share with you a different way, a different view, a different approach, a different perspective. When you think about it, and it isn't for everybody, and we're certainly not for everybody, and we're not at all. And you have to, think everyone's got to think that through. But some of the things that I, would question, and there were some very fine programs out there years ago, very fine, and I did very well doing that. I've been at this game a long time. Investors Business Daily, very fine. I'm not sure that it's worth it today, but I'm not sure that, that approach is, that it's not for us. And there were others. This is very much of a hands-on coming in measured terms, very mechanical, ideally robotic, and extracting cash flow, hopefully each and every day, a little bit, and moving on. So there's no one trade that's going to retire. There's no one trade that is going to, if there's no one trade that you're going to retire from, then there's no one trade that's going to wipe out your account. But, if folks want to, take their entire 401k, work their whole lives, just get impatient, get frustrated, get, just, I can't be bothered. And I'm going to take my entire 401k and I'm going to put it on AMC stock because they're coming out with buttered popcorn, flavored popcorn. I mean, ludicrous. And then start telling their kid and I refer to this, there was a woman who was in a video, it was enough to make me want to puke. And she's paddling around in a canoe. I think it was Lake Santito. It looked like it up in North Carolina. And it was a YouTube video. And she's telling like her 10-year-old boy, this was like 2 years ago. I remember seeing it. And we're going to own one of those cabins on the lake there, Sunny, because mommy put her entire 401k, into AMC and we're going to hodl. I'm telling the story. I mean, and I'm thinking, are you nuts? Nuts. I mean, I got news for her. She probably can't even take that vacation anymore. There's no shortcuts. The options market, that's a brutal market. The option pricing is very, very good. Very, very good. So any case, happy to answer any questions right now. It is flat, and we'll see if we get an opportunity to. you have any questions, feel free. We're only going to probably go until about noon here on YouTube. Then we're going to shut down and try to be available for our members. We don't do this live on YouTube every day. Sometimes we do it at night, and most of the time, it'll be at night, late at night. Sometimes on a Friday. It's just an opportunity for us to kind of showcase. We don't pay for any advertising, so we do the YouTube. We haven't been doing this for 6 months, 6 years. We've been here a long, long time. We've been here long before Twitter. Um, and You're welcome to visit the website. You're welcome to give us a call anytime. We don't pester anybody. We do. If you get on our mailing list, we'll send you some highlights and different things that we might be doing. But we won't call you. We won't badger you with emails or spam. We're not the Nigerians. Uh, every that market rebellion crowd. Oh my God. So we're not doing that, and we're not making specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. Are we schooled in economics? Do we have a parallel point of view of what's going on? Yeah, absolutely. Is it fun to talk about? Yep. But do we trade it? Nope. No, not really. Nope. Is the Fed manipulating the markets? Yep. Yep. Ever since 1913. I know it's new to the Bitcoin crowd. It isn't new. The nice thing about the machinery is that it can also help you. It can help you stay patient in a trade. It can also help you stay out of trades. Being flat is a position, probably the most difficult one to hold. Thanks for the compliment, T-Bone. For everybody on YouTube, this is Bag It On. It is July 15th at about 11:57, and we promise to keep this view up until about noon. And it is what it is. Would have loved to have had a nice big fat profit. We certainly had opportunity. We're going to hang with it the rest of the day, but unfortunately, we're going to need to say goodbye to YouTube. It does pull on our resources here a little bit, and we want to be available, and we need to get focused for the afternoon session. If this market does turn down, rest assured, we will see it and we will profit from it. If it doesn't, and we'll be where we be. If you have any questions here in the last 5 or 10 minutes and want to post them in the chat function, feel free. Otherwise, we'll be signing off right at about noon. It is free to push the like button. It is free to subscribe on YouTube and on Twitter, and push the notification. And when we do these little free spot views late at night, maybe on a Friday or occasionally, you'll get notified. If you're interested in what our memberships are about, they're explained on the website. If you want to call and chat over a weekend, happy to. Real person trading a real bread, and trying to do so mechanically, robotically. We don't make specific recommendations. We're not equipped or empowered to do that. I don't make any claims that this should be for anyone. We live in Florida, so I don't go to the boat show or the home show and set up a tabletop display and say, you too can be a trader. No. In fact, this is the majority of folks probably should not attempt to become a trader. It's a very small number, but I'm happy to discuss. My phone number is 813-758-8263. My first question is basically, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? And how has it gone for you? What have you learned? What challenges you have? And then maybe most importantly, what are your expectations? And if I think, and this may sound, odd or crazy, but if I think that your expectations are not real, and that's just me, I won't waste your time or mine. And you might go off and hit those expectations. It'd be great. But, so we don't, to that end, we don't accept everybody. We don't try not to turn folks away. Try not to be rude, but if a person has a genuine interest, a passion for the markets, has time, it takes time, it takes some capital, but we have lesson plans on trading in proportion. We're getting a little bit of a dip now. Wouldn't it be nice to finish, on a little dip? Just see a little 1 minute, giving a little bit of selling coming in here. We get 10 minutes. Let's just see. Maybe just the dip. We're ratcheting up. No. This would be a perfect place for it. It does look to us, I will say this, it does look to us that we're going to probably turn down this afternoon, intraday, right? I'm not giving you a Tom Lee forecast. I'm not telling, yes, is going to be at 5,200, Judge, I'm just saying, it appears to us that later this afternoon, the market might turn down. And if you know how to trade, and if you know the instruments, a person could move a little bit of money, risking a little bit of money to make a little bit of money and get the hell out of the way. That's about it, right? And you can do it on multiple markets. When you get, your confidence, you can do it on multiple markets. And you get a little bit here and a little bit there. It does look like it's going to dip here. All right, so we'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take this little dip, and I'm going to see it's 11:51. Let's see if we can take this in. Now, I did that manually. So when we talk about trading mechanically and robotically, the machine can put you in and take you out completely and can do it for hours and days at a time. And you can also, you know, by the flip of a switch, take control over the plane. This is all scalable too. By the way, we're using for those that are coming by on YouTube, and we're still slated to end the session at noon. So thank you for those that stopped by. I'm happy to take your phone calls. You're welcome to visit Stock Market Caddy. You're welcome to call. Um, this is scalable, right? So the P&L that you're seeing on Swing Machine, that is calculating a mini contract. The position that you see up there, that's a micro, and there's 5 of them, 5 micros. So it's half of a mini, because one micro is 1/10 the size of a mini. So if I was trading that little position that's up there, MNQU22, you see that it's up $60, or I'm sorry, excuse me, down $60. If that was 1 micro, it would be down $5. The good news is, for those of you that are exploring and thinking about futures, which I think are fantastic market, they are now so scalable. We never, years ago, it's only been in the last couple of years that we had these things called micros. So you can really learn at a very small level, right? So if we were trading, I say it would be, well, if there's 5 there, you just divide that number by 5. It'll give you here relative. So it's all relative, very scalable. I will say this, it's 11:56. It does appear to us that the market is likely to pull in this afternoon. I'm not saying that it's going to crash or anything. We never know any of that sort of thing, but it's just likely that it's going to pull in. It looks like, though, it's probably an hour or 2 away from doing that. Swing Machine is telling us on the 1 minute it's trying to pull in right now. That's what this is. And it is a counter move to the 5, though. The 5 minute has been steadfastly long since 8:50. Swing Machine here does not use, by the way, for the folks that are on YouTube, does not use moving averages. We wouldn't be able to get this type of consistency and perspective using an average. Just doesn't work. All right, so we'll try to stay with it. We're 11:57 time-wise. If you have any questions on YouTube and you want to patch them in there in the last minute, feel free. The big thing is that maybe I'll finish with this on keeping score. A trader trades his first week and he makes $10,000 gross. He gross losses 5,000. He nets $5,000. The next week, he has a gross profit of 1,000. He has a gross loss of 200. He nets 800. Which week did he trade better? Week A, where he made 5,000, or week 2, where he made 800, and why? If you can't answer that question, then you shouldn't be trading because you don't know how to keep score. And I'll just leave it at that. Because if you're listening and watching on YouTube and you want to know what that's all about, call me and we can talk it through. But, you're not going to win the British Open by watching one video. You're not going to win the British Open just because you went in and bought yourself a set of golf clubs and some knickers. You're not even going to compete. I wish it was that easy. I wish everything in life was that easy. It isn't. And this is, when you think about it, you got grown men and women, great educations, smart, savvy, and they're in here. And you're competing with our members. Good luck with that. Good luck. Have a great weekend, Tina. YouTube, have a great rest of the weekend. We're going to stay with this little trade. Call anytime.